Welcome to a Legendarium special about Eris, the Greek goddess who started the Trojan War. In this episode, we will learn about the many adventures of the Greek goddess who brought chaos, strife, and discord into the world. Many of the Greek gods and goddesses enjoyed inflicting pain and suffering upon humanity, yet few took as much joy in it as Eris, the Greek goddess of chaos, strife, and discord. Fittingly, she had not one but two equivalent Roman goddesses named Discordia and Concordia. Myth taught that Zeus and Hera begat Eris, making her part of the second generation of Olympian gods. She became close to her brother Eris, for both delighted in war. Indeed, she had an incestuous union with Eris, which produced a son named Strife. Eris and Strife rode a chariot on battlefields together, urging both sides to continue fighting, even if they had already lost. This boundless appetite for blood led her to start one of the most famous wars in Greek mythology. At the wedding of King Peleus and the sea nymph Thetis, every Olympian god attended except Eris, likely because of her fondness for trouble. Unfortunately, Eris decided that she would show up anyway and take revenge. Eris brought with her a golden apple of Hera with the words, "For the most beautiful," inscribed on it. These golden apples came from a tree gifted to her mother Hera by her grandmother, the earth goddess Gaia, upon Hera's marriage to Zeus. Eris threw the inscribed apple into the crowd. Unsurprisingly, this caused trouble because Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite began to argue over who deserved it. To end the fight, Zeus, king of the gods, appointed Paris, prince of Troy, to judge the most beautiful goddess. The goddesses offered Paris bribes to win him over to their side. Athena promised him wisdom, Hera offered power, but he picked Aphrodite, who tempted him with the most beautiful woman in the world. That woman happened to be Helen, wife of King Menelaus of Sparta. Depending on the version, Helen either suddenly appeared before Paris or he absconded with her. Her husband Menelaus became unsurprisingly furious, and he gathered 1,000 ships filled with bloody-minded warriors to get her back. This marked the beginning of the Trojan War, much to the delight of Eris. The war lasted 10 years and ended in Troy being burnt to the ground, all because of a single apple, a perverse gift from Eris. This seems to be typical of the goddess of strife, who worked in the background to bring misery to many, though sometimes she brought misery to a particular few. A married couple by the name of Polytekhnos and Aedon once claimed they loved each other more than Zeus and Hera did, which angered Hera, ironic considering her tempestuous relationship with Zeus. Hera sent her daughter Eris down to create strife between the couple. Polytekhnos at the time had almost finished work on a standing board for a chariot, and Aedon nearly completed a weaving project. Eris urged them into a competition, and whoever finished first would receive a slave girl from the other. Aedon finished first with help from Hera, which infuriated Polytekhnos beyond reason. In his rage, he found Aedon's sister, raped her, and then brought her back disguised as a slave for his wife. After Aedon and her sister realized what happened, they murdered Polytekhnos' son, cooked him into a stew, and then fed him to his unwitting father. The gods then turned the entire family into birds to punish them for crimes they prodded them towards. Another example of the cruel character of the Greek gods. A friendly competition leading to rape, murder, and cannibalism. Just another day in the life of Eris. Eris appears in one of Aesop's fables as well. During one of his labors, Hercules traveled through a mountain pass. By chance, he happened across an apple. He struck it once with his club, but to his surprise, the fruit doubled in size. Hercules struck it a second time, only to see it double in size once more. Thankfully, a goddess came down and told Hercules that this apple belonged to Eris, goddess of discord. Just like strife and trouble, the apple only grew greater if you fought against it. His lesson learned, Hercules then left the apple of trouble alone, and it grew no more. The golden apples of Hera figured in different accounts of Hercules' 11th labor. In one version, Hercules slayed a dragon and took the golden apples, but in another version, Hercules held up the heavens while the Titan Atlas fetched the apples for him. According to the Greek author Hesiod, Eris also became the mother of many spirits who plagued mankind. Despite Eris having only the one named son, Hesiod claimed that Eris became mother to evil spirits who troubled mankind. These children included Ponos, the spirit of hardship, Lethe, the cause of forgetfulness, Lemos, the bringer of starvation, and Dysnomia, the mother of anarchy. At least a dozen other evil spirit children are named, each one bringing a particular trouble to us. According to Hesiod, these evil demons were stored in Pandora's box. When Pandora opened her box, she famously released them out into the world. Wherever ancient Greeks suffered, they likely blamed Eris or one of her many evil spirit children for it. That wraps things up for this episode of the Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.